So, Stevie Sickness here. You remember Furbies, right? Those little bird things that kept talking even after you took the batteries out? Well, lucky me, Christmas just passed and my daughters asked Santa for two things. Monster truck toys and Furbies. Yep, they are still around. I thought I was safe, but I was wrong. As we all know, I'm a dad without a minivan experiencing my childhood again through the eyes of my children, which is the best. Most of the time. But looking at their toys has me thinking back to my childhood and the toys that I grew up with. And maybe you. Yes, I eventually got a Furby as a kid. But before I got a Furby, I got something else. A toy that to this day, I still don't know a single other person that had it. So I think to myself, there's a lot of weird toys I had that I don't really remember anybody else having. So I guess this is like a public outreach to see are there other kids that grew up like me. If you grew up in the we have McDonald's at home household, you might know. For example, let's keep talking about this Furby situation. Wow. When I was growing up, Furbies were everywhere. Everyone had one. You couldn't escape it. Even McDonald's had them as Happy Meal toys. But you probably didn't know that if you had McDonald's at home. Point is, it was impossible to avoid. But somehow, my parents found an alternative. They gave me a lifelong connection to something that nobody else knows. While my friends eagerly unboxed their Furbies, I unboxed this. This exact one, too. The orange one. This monstrosity was called a Chilla Chilla. I do not have a single happy memory with this thing. Its eyelids were fabric, so it never really quite adjusted right on the eyeballs, so it always looked just cracked out. It was always just a bit off, and it made noises. These awful noises. I have the classic Furby memory a lot of you probably have where the thing was talking when no one was in the room. So you panicked and took the batteries out and put it in a drawer somewhere. The drawer couldn't stop my Chilla Chilla. I took those batteries out and he kept speaking, laboring, melting, robotic. Just nightmare fuel. So yeah, I felt guilt because it was a gift and I wanted to be appreciative, but God, I got rid of that thing. And after I got rid of that thing, I still checked my room every day thinking that thing would come back. There was just something off about it. I can't really describe it. And I can't freaking find anybody else that had it that I can talk to and be like, do you remember this thing? So anyway, I eventually got a Furby just like everybody else. But I never quite felt the fear that all of you experienced. The Chilla Chilla owned the rights to my fear. But now that I have two of these monstrosities in my home, I can't help but think, is it my time? Everything from here on out isn't as spooky, I promise. It's just more things that I grew up with that maybe you grew up with. So next we have Beanie Babies. I don't have to introduce them. Everyone had Beanie Babies. Everyone. I'm sure everybody knows Beanie Babies, and if you don't, holy cow, good on you for just ducking them for so long. There was this one, and that one, and this one, and there's still people out there, maybe some of you, who are still holding on to their Beanie Babies thinking that's the thing that's gonna get them rich, and they're gonna be like, take my Beanie Babies! Give me money! I don't know how realistic that is. I don't look at Beanie Baby prices. I actually still have my first Beanie Baby here. See, look at that. Look at that. Legit. I think it's technically a Beanie Buddy because it's a big one. And it is one of a kind because all the other ones in the world have fur. One summer it was really hot as a kid and I thought that he was getting hot, so I cut off all the hair. One of a kind. But I digress. Because Beanie Babies were everywhere, it was unavoidable for me to not have some. I mean, shoot, even one day at school, I remember them handing out Beanie Babies for some event. I don't know what it was, but I remember getting Beanie Babies. Which, looking back, that's sick. That was cool. But I did get another collectible stuffed animal toy. Many of them. And they weren't Beanie Babies. I got Puffkins. Puffkins. Does anybody know these? These little round fluffy ball things? Up until now, I never once thought, where did they come from? How did I get them? Who gave them to me? They just started to accumulate. Apparently, they've been around since 1997, according to Wikipedia. Thanks, Wikipedia. I know I have some of these tucked away, but I'm sick, so I'm not going to go looking for them. Just trust me, okay? Why would I lie about this? Of all things to lie about, why would I lie about little fluffy ball stuffed animals, guys? Audacity for you guys to accuse me of lying about puffy ball things. So anyway, yeah, Beanie Babies, Puffkins. I really don't have much more to say about that, but I had them. So let's move on to our final and more popular parallel that I'm hoping, I really do hope a lot of you remember this, because it was sick. We'll start with the primary subject, which was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, baby. They were the coolest. Sick fits, sick music, fight scenes. They were skating, jumping out of planes. It was awesome. It seriously didn't get cooler. I'm dying. Tommy was the dude we all wanted to be. Sick, crime-fighting teenager with hair. And I'm pretty sure Kimberly was like every dude's first crush. Mine was technically Jasmine from Aladdin.
What?
She was just so nice. But the first human was Kimberly. And anyway, Power Rangers were and still are so popular, so of course there's going to be copycats. You'd be dumb not to copy that cat. Which brings me to my childhood alternative. Big Bad Beetleborgs. Beetleborgs.
Wow.
Man, I can't tell you how many times as a kid I watched that movie on VHS. I mean, there was a show, but the movie was just... I thought these things were sick, which is a big deal because I freaking hate bugs. Beetles are bugs, right? So it was like almost the same thing as Power Rangers. Teenagers or preteens, whatever, fighting crime. There was a clown, Frankenbeans, Count Fangula. It's a little weird if you don't know it. But if you've never heard of it before now, definitely go check it out. And naturally, with a cool IP, we have merchandising. I had these sick action figures growing up. They were just shiny. Shiny was cool. Shiny is cool. Shiny never stopped being cool. What a stupid sentence. I had this cool Beetleborg morpher thing. Awesome. And obviously it worked because I was a Beetleborg once on Halloween. So Chilla, Puffkins, Beetleborgs. Just 3 of the knockoff toys I grew up with. Parallel toys. Copycats? I'm not sure what you would call them. McDonald's at home toys, maybe. I love that as my kids get toys. It brings back the memories of mine. I get to show them, at least online, some of the things I grew up with. And I imagine I'll think of more toys I grew up with as they get new ones. And hopefully those hypothetical future toys can be stored in a minivan. Anyway, did any of you have any of these toys? Am I alone on this one? Please tell me I'm not alone. And if there's any other weird toys that you guys grew up with, like copycat toys, let me know, because I'm kind of on a deep dive. I'm kind of having fun. All right, that's it. 1 like equals 1 night where a Furby doesn't watch you sleep. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Love you, bye. That's good.